of political representation. Political parties are transmission bells in terms of connecting citizens with political power or decision makers through articulation of interests, mobilization and handling of the procedure of candidate selection, which are part of key democratic institutions. The All Progressives Congress commenced registration and revalidation of its membership few days ago and will end in next few days. To what extent is this exercise going to assist in further boosting the democratic institution in Nigeria? This is the focus of discussion on Panorama today, coming to you from Ibadan Zonal Center of the Network Service of NTA. I am Larry Du. Thanks for joining us. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has ratified appointment of a liquidator by the federal government acting through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for Process and Industrial Development Nigeria Limited, P&ID Nigeria, a company registered in Nigeria. Judiciary correspondent Vera Chimuba reports that the ex parte motion granted by the court was part of the efforts to execute the judgment of the court given on 19th of September 2019.
The liquidator is to help the federal government trace and secure all assets and property of P&ID Nigeria, which the court earlier ordered to be forfeited to the federal government after the firm's conviction in a judgment given in September 2019. Justice Inyang Eko, after listening to the counsel to the federal government, Balasanga, made an order ratifying the appointment of Messrs. Christy Maka of Lexifield Chambers, Abuja, as the liquidator of P&ID Nigeria. Justice Eko also noted that Process and Industrial Development Limited is a debtor to the federal government wherever it is found as at the 19th of September 2019. The court had, in its proceedings of September 2019, convicted P&ID and his affiliate in Nigeria on an 11-count charge filed by the EFCC over the firm's unlawful conduct in relation to the controversial gas supply project agreement, over which an arbitration tribunal that sat in London awarded damages estimated at about $9.6 billion. In another development, the Supreme Court dismissed 2 appeals filed by Senator Ifeanyi Ararume, asking the court to declare him the candidate of APC in the last by-election for Imo North Senatorial District. A 5-man panel of justices headed by Justice Amina Agui in 2 judgments affirmed the judgment of the Court of Appeal over a division. In Abuja, Vera Chimuba, NTA News.
The federal government is appealing to the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, to call off the planned industrial action by their members, describing it as counterproductive as well as unlawful. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, announced the government's plea while briefing journalists after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari on the development. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the minister also clears the air on the controversy surrounding the reappointment of Hamad Idris as Accountant General of the Federation.
SANU and NASU have written their branches to commence a nationwide strike beginning midnight Friday over, amongst others, the federal government's handling of the integrated personnel and payroll information system sharing formula of the 40 billion naira and academic allowances and non-payment of arrears of the new minimum wage. But after deliberating on the matter with President Muhammadu Buhari, Labour and Employment Minister Dr. Chris Ngige told newsmen that steps have already been taken by the federal government towards addressing the cardinal issues raised by the unions and described the planned strike as not only uncalled for but also unlawful.
After conferring with my president, we are telling the unions not to carry out the action, because that action will run counter to ILO statutes on social dialogue and principles at work, because the employers have listened, they have brought them to the table So for SANU and NASU, we are imploring them not to carry out their threat, more so when the meeting adjourned at their own instance. And I've received a letter from them giving us a new date for the continuation of the dialogue. They proposed a date of Thursday, 11th of February, and my office has communicated them back that we'll be ready for them at that time, because they needed, as they claimed, they needed time to consult with their constituency and come back on the fresh issues that have cropped up from the discussion. It's a question of them giving government some time. I'm very optimistic that if they give us 3 months, the finance minister will do the needful.
Dr. Chris Ngige's discussion with the president also centered on the reappointment of Ahmad Idris as the Accountant General of the Federation.
Therefore, Mr. President have exercised his powers under Section 171 of the 1999 Constitution as amended in reappointing Mr. Ahmed Idris with effect from June 25, 2019, not even today. So the man has a tenure of 4 years, which will, by fruition of time of appointment, lapse 2023 June.
It will be recalled that the Trade Union Congress and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria had contacted the government demanding that Ahmed Idris should vacate his office, having clocked 60 years. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Commission has suspended its recruitment process as part of effort to sustain harmonious relationship with its Board of Management and the Federal Commissioners. Kevin Ebunaye reports.
The management of the Federal Character Commission and the commissioners have for some time been in disagreement over issues of operations involving recruitment and award of contracts. At a press briefing, the management stressed that all issues raised by the commissioners are being resolved and that the suspension of the recruitment process is part of moves to ensure that both the Board of Management and the commissioners are on the same page to deliver on the mandate of the Commission for the benefits of Nigerians.
In the process of recruitment. So the procedures are there. So when the time comes to conclude that recruitment or to bring the recruitment on board, then those infractions that were noticed for which a cancellation was necessitated will be looked into. So that is why we say the process had to be followed.
The Federal Character Commission is the agency of government saddled with the responsibility of ensuring due process and equity in the recruitment and spread of employees in government ministries and organizations. In Abuja, Kelvin Ewonwaye, NTA News.
25 states and the FCT are requesting the creation of additional 5,798 polling units from INEC to reduce voters' apathy. To this end, INEC has commenced consultative meetings with stakeholders, beginning with political parties. Mayor Ogidi reports.
Not a rally, but a polling unit in Edo State. Not wailing, but waiting to vote. There is dreaded disease, but no distance. This and more created the consciousness for the need for more polling units.
Many of them are located in conflict areas or in homes of political chieftains, and some in deep forests and shrines as well. It also manifests the crisis, in poor electoral services, such as late commencement of polls.
Figures from INEC, 1999 to 2019. Polling units movement static. Voters registration increasing. Percentage of turnout dynamic. Time for solution. INEC and political parties sitting for a common cause. Out of the 5,798 polling units, Borno State is requesting for 1,235, Niger 1,042, while Bauchi State made the lowest with 2 only.
The Commission is of the firm belief that expanding voter access to polling units in Nigeria is crucial to voter turnout in elections. In the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is necessary to decongest polling units to minimize overcrowding. Unfortunately, the last time polling units were established was 25 years ago in 1996.
I am glad that this is a discussion paper and we're going to do justice to it.
Consultations with more groups expected to give birth to a new look in the polling unit chart of the political map in Nigeria. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak says current political distractions in the state will not derail him from fulfilling his campaign promises of improving the socio-economic status of the people rather than share the state's resources among few individuals. He was speaking at APC's stakeholders meeting organized ahead of the party's upcoming registration and revalidation exercise in the state. Raliat Ibrahim reports.
The governor believes the revalidation and registration exercise is pertinent at this point in time and critical to the party's success in upcoming elections. He says he remains steadfast in seeing a better Kwara State, noting that his administration is not popular with some people because he has refused to share the state's resources among a group of people. He called on party members to encourage more people to register while urging all to observe COVID-19 safety protocols at registration points.
During the last election, we won 75% of the votes, with only about 100,000 members of the party. We now want to increase the base of the party in the state to bring in more people. People have been convinced by what we're doing.
Chairman APC Membership Registration Committee for Kwara State, Senator John Damboy, says the registration process will be held in the 1,872 polling units in the 193 wards in the state. Members or prospective members are required to go with 3 passport photographs and their voter's card.
We want to expand the membership drive of our party. And for that reason, the National Secretariat sent us here to be able to carry out such an exercise.
The membership registration and revalidation exercise will run from the 9th to the 23rd of February 2021. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress, APC in Oyo State, says it is targeting not less than 2 million members that will be documented in the National Party registration. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omole has this report on the preparation for APC national members registration in Oyo State.
As part of the preparation ahead of the national registration of members of All Progressives Congress APC, party stalwarts in Oyo State are strategizing to achieve their targets and a hitch-free registration exercise.
This exercise we are going to do is an exercise that is in the best interest of our party, best interest of our state as a federating unit, and best interest of our federation as a country in the Committee of Nations of the world.
Our target, and I hope I can say this on behalf of all of us, is to get a minimum of 2 million registered members for this party.
This exercise of this success, we the women of Oyo State, we the women of APC, would like to play our part in this registration drive.
Irrespective of their differences before now, the party's major players unanimously agreed to work together by closing ranks that have affected the performance of the party in elections in the state.
We critical stakeholders will then sit together and then agree on how we share it from. Luckily, we have some money back here.
We have very united party that also together.
The members' registration is expected to take place for about 2 weeks in 351 wards of the 33 local government areas in Oyo State. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
With me in the studio is the acting chairman, APC membership registration and revalidation exercise for your state, Hamad Sajo. Welcome to Panorama, sir.
Thank you very much.
The All Progressives Congress has commenced the registration and validation of its membership. What informed this exercise at this period?
Well, let me say that, the chairman is Right Honorable Abubakar Bawa Buhari, but for some reasons he had to step aside, so that, and yesterday we had a meeting and they said I should act as the chairman of the team. I think essentially the main purpose of this exercise is to create a proper data bank of the membership of the party, nationally.
Okay.
And to create an atmosphere where, the party membership is brought in tandem with current realities of the digital age.
Okay.
This is going to be the first time a political party in Nigeria is going to register its members with unique numbers. Every number is unique to the individual. Every form is unique to a particular local government. So you can't use Ibadan North, for example, or for Ibadan Southwest.
Okay.
You cannot use, Isheyin for Shaki. It's every local government has its own unique code.
Beautiful.
For the registration exercise, and every member that is registered has his own unique registration number.
Okay.
So once we are able to harvest these names based on this criteria, they will be uploaded onto the national data bank.
Okay.
And the APC membership register will be fully digital, to the extent that when the exercise is completed, if you go to the APC website and you go to the drop-down section about membership, and you impute your unique membership code, everything about you comes out. So the APC is trying to go digital with the process of membership, so that we can have a political party whose membership is real, is true. We've had different cases of the party registering 2 million people, and then on the day of election, you have maybe 400 or 300,000. So you begin to ask yourself, where are all of these members? So now we're going to have a membership that is authentic. You have to come in person. You affix you have your passport. Okay. You have your unique number. Once you do that, you are imputed in the National Data Bank. So there's no dispute as to whether you are a member or you're not a member.
Okay, beautiful. Now, my next question is the exercise for new members only, or revalidation include old members?
The old registration does not have these unique numbers.
No.
So if you exclude all members from this process, what you're doing is that you're saying the new data bank will only capture new people that have come into the party, and you're not being fair. Okay. You're not being just to the old members who are already members of the party before the new people come to join them. Okay. So we're saying everybody goes and gets this new unique registration number, so that we will all be on the same page. We will all have the same identification as members of the party.
Now, won't there be fears in some quarters that maybe some might be membered or removed from the party?
When you saw the report that you aired before we started, aired before we started the discussion,
yes.
I spoke on behalf of the committee, and what I was telling the stakeholders, in unmistakable terms, is that this exercise is for inclusion, and inclusion in all its ramifications. Every political tendency, including even members of the opposition party who wants to join us, should be accepted. Every person, man, woman, youth, people living with some challenges, fiscal challenges, everybody is supposed to be included in this exercise.
Okay, my last question, I want you to be brief on this. Yes. The party was said to have called on civil servants to take advantage of this period to join the party. This call seems to contradict constitutional power, which prevents civil servants from being part of political parties. What's your take on this?
No, there is no constitutional whatever, because a judgment has been passed by a competent court, by a court of competent jurisdiction, that nothing stops civil servants from being members of political parties. So we're saying take advantage of this window that the law has provided for you so that you can benefit from the process.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Ahmad Sajo, is the acting chairman, APC membership registration and revalidation exercise. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, my pleasure, always.
You're still watching Panorama. More reports after this break. Stay with us. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 1,624 new cases of COVID-19 in the country, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 137,654 till date. Lagos State leads with 535, Plateau 183, Osun 98, Akwa Ibom 85, FCT 83, 77 in Ondo, Nasarawa 72, Edo 69, Oyo 63, 52 in Rivers, Taraba 48, Ogun 44, Borno and Kwara recorded 31 cases each. Ekiti 30, Benue 25, 21 each in Kaduna and Niger. Kaduna 18, Abia 15, Delta 10, Bayelsa 7, and Zamfara recorded 6 cases till date. 111,639 persons have been treated and discharged, and sadly, 1,641 deaths have been recorded. Time now for sports.